Good morning. Welcome to Pimlico Racecourse. Naomi Tucker here. Keith Fustel outside. It's starting to warm up, isn't it, Keith?
It's toasty out here. It's about, I don't know, I think we're going to get it close to 80 today, higher 70s. We've got some threatening skies over here to my right. So there's a chance, I think, of some showers. They might pop up later in the card. We'll see. But right now, good. It's nice. It's a nice day out. Enjoy it.
Yeah, let's hope it stays clean and clear. And of course, it's the day, 2 days actually, before the Kentucky Derby. And we
Yes.
have plenty of goods to hand out before that. But let's also have a look at what's coming up tomorrow. Of course, Stronach 5 Friday. We have two races in the sequence here at Pimlico and Maryland Jockey Club. As it says, race 8 kicks off the Stronach 5 on Friday, April the 30th. Gulfstream Park is the second leg. Third leg with us, race number 9. And then we go to the West Coast, Santa Anita Park, race 3. Golden Gate Fields closes things off, hopefully with a winner in race 3 as well. So that's all coming up tomorrow. We always keep saying Fridays are for Stronach 5. So we're just trying to get you accustomed to that. That whenever it's Friday, we're not just thinking, thank God it's Friday. We're thinking Friday means Stronach 5 opportunities. But as I hinted at before, the Kentucky Derby is coming up this Saturday, first Saturday in May, and First Bet and Express Bet had plenty of goods for you there. Kentucky Derby and Oaks, the full card at Churchill Downs on those 2 days. So that is tomorrow and Saturday. You have a money back special. Get your cash back for up to $10 when your win bet finishes second or third. Now, what do we make of that, Keith? That's free money, isn't it?
It's like playing for free. Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. So, yeah, if you're not signed up, I advise you immediately to go get signed up to First Bet.
Absolutely. And if you're wondering who you should be betting in the Kentucky Derby, we've also created a wagering guide courtesy of First Bet and Express Bet. You can download it in the First Bet app. It's just a wonderful read as well. I had a look through it. So many top handicappers that put in their 2 cents on either want to go with the favorite in essential quality or try and pick more of a price play. I'm in there too. I tried to beat essential quality with Hot Rod Charlie, so we'll see how that turns out. 8-1 morning line for him. But let's have a look at the current track conditions, Keith. We were just hinting at it. Looking fast and beautiful once again.
It is beautiful. Look at this temperature, 78 degrees. Just a light wind right now. Some clouds off in the distance. So we're going to maybe keep an eye out on that. But all in all, fast track, no turf today. So, yeah, wagering guide there for the Kentucky Derby. I'll give you my 2 cents, I guess, on Saturday for what that's worth because I didn't make the quote-unquote top handicappers page, I guess, again. That's, boy, what a
I feel like they've
just
missed out
beat down.
with that one. No,
Man,
I think
oh,
we've
man,
missed out.
my feelings are hurt. I think I might be done. That's it.
Hold on now, Keith.
No,
You
no,
said
no, no, no.
No, you were going to give your selections on Saturday. I'm not here on Saturday.
Oh,
my
okay.
partner is getting promoted, and I'm going to attend a little ceremony, which is
All
wonderful.
right.
So why don't you give us at least a hint right now so I can think about that for a little bit too?
My 2 key horses, I'll say it now, I'll say Saturday, are going to be Rock Your World and Dynamic One. I'm looking for like a horse that's going to be up close. Yeah, I think he's got some talent. We'll see if he can handle this job at 1.25 miles, but he's quick. I didn't like that he switched leads a couple times last time in the San Antonio Derby, but he's shown me some versatility. I think he can carry it. And Dynamic One is a horse that comes out of a slower race right up in New York, but
Yeah.
I like horses that were wide into a slow pace, made a grinding type of move. I like the way he's training in the morning, so he's kind of my price user. I'm going to key around those 2.
I love
I
it.
respect the favorite, no doubt. I respect highly motivated, but they're the 2 that I'm going to just lay it out on and try to work around.
Yeah, this is interesting that you mentioned Dynamic One. You're not the first one to have mentioned him to me.
Did another top handicapper mention that one?
A trainer
Okay.
actually, no,
Oh,
a couple of
okay.
trainers said they like Dynamic
right.
One coming out of that slow race. It'll be
You got it.
very intriguing to see. Maybe he's starting to shape up as being the wise man horse like we have
yeah.
every year.
I don't like that then. I don't want to be part of the wise guy.
Well, you know what? We'll take stock again on Sunday. and see who came out on top here. Let's get
All right.
going with the
You got
first
it.
of 9 races coming up here at Pimlico, which is the start of the early pick 5. As always, how can one forget 12% industry low takeout, 50-cent minimum bet, 5.5 furlongs the distance here. 4 3-year-old fillies claiming 16 the level, and both you and I go with the filly on the rail, Shaka Boom. Would you have a replay of her last effort at Laurel Park, sprinting 6 furlong, where she went very hard up front early, and I feel like Insightful, the winner in the end, just got a beautiful tone. You can see them both ranging up here. You know, Shaka Boom, she tried hard.
Yeah, she didn't get discouraged too much there. I mean, Insightful was just too good. She prompted outside in hand, and when the jock said go, she went. But I thought Shakaboom held pretty well, all things considered. She's kind of showing the filly she is. She's kind of this lower 50s kind of a buyer type. This is probably where her peak is. So this is the right little move down to 16. See if she can carry it the whole way against this group. 7 is probably your most logical, maybe upsetter, I would think. Aprilness is found a little bit more stamina her last couple races. I don't know who she beat at Penn. I'm going to use the 2 as my kind of price user underneath. I think she can just save ground every step of the way. The right kind of move down to 16. Jock Trainer doing great together. Jock John Salzman Jr. on fire of late. You know, really doing good work for that barn. Like to see that. Local guy has been around a long time, so proud of those guys. But yeah, I think Charlie can just save ground, maybe matriculate up to it and grab a piece.
Yeah, I used the number 7 April Ness underneath because I like her outside draw. She took them. She basically showed a lot of speed and a good sort of stalking position in the last 2 races. Very informed filly for Jamie Ness, who's also made quite a nice start to meet, and gets Sheldon Russell on board from the outside. So I feel like that's going to place her in the right position to strike from. As we'll move on to the second race on the card, starter allowance for 3-year-olds and upwards. 5 furlong the distance, and we do also have a nice video spotlight in here on the number 6 Day the Music Died last time out at Laurel in the Not for Love, and he's got plenty of early speed. He was right there from the outside gate in the Not for Love there, taking back in the end, but look at him ranging up in between horses there and really trying. It just feels like perhaps he's a little bit outclassed there against where she told me to go, because he's a tough sprinter.
This is a horse they claimed, I think, on the go back quite a while back for much lesser, and has really been consistent. Had some troubles out of the gate in the past, and shows quick moves into the pace and sometimes flattens. But against this group with his outside draw, he's quick. I mean, I think he's going to bring it right to uplifting. Might be able to separate from the field, but lurking his belt adversary for Kieran. Another one, going for its 4th straight win, I think. Look at this horse. Kieran just hit an absolute home run off the claim with belt adversary. So Kieran Barnes just rolling right along as well. These two, they look like the ones from the top of the stretch home. I think they engage, hook up, and carry it from there.
Yeah, I was tempted to try and go against number 5 Belter Pursuit based that he's probably going to take a fair chunk of the bettor's money. But due to the fact that he's got plenty of speed, but also got an incredible closing kick, one of the best in the field, I had to go with him and then use Day the Music Died underneath, because I felt like if anyone could upset it, it is Day the Music Died with a little bit of early speed, but that tactical ability to sit back and then pounce, and coming out of that Not for Love, as we highlighted.
What do you make of the? I'm sorry. What do you make of the 1 real quick on this off time and from a high percentage barn, claimed off a high percentage barn? I didn't know what to make. A little bit of motivation.
I was struggling with that as well. A fair few months off. Of course, Michael Trombetta is decent enough on that kind of layoff, but not knocking it out of the park with his percentages. I feel like perhaps he likes horses to have a run and then gear them up for that second run after layoff. That's my gut feeling, motivation. But he's coming out of a 25 claimer at Saratoga. We know Saratoga is an incredibly tough circuit to ply your trade on. So that 3rd with a very decent 76 buyer, and if you look back through what he's been capable of doing in the past, he's been hitting at the 90s, mid 85 buyers, and that could certainly topple this field. So wanted to use him underneath. If I'm playing exotics, I will probably include this horse just to cover myself a little bit here, because as you mentioned, Michael Trombetta very strong. What did you make of him?
Well, I just think a little bit of a unlucky, I guess. The last couple broke slow 6-path. We're going back to basically a year ago. Then bobble bumps start coming off. Not quite showing the gate speed the last couple. Obviously, a little bit some excuses, but at 5/8 of a mile, breaking from that inside post against some horses that have recency and can carry it. Maybe I'm going to really follow this one and maybe catch him down the road when he stretches him back out to 6.
See, that's what I'm thinking
yeah.
as well. A second or a third race after this layoff, I think he's going to be possibly much sharper.
Okay.
But I wouldn't discount him entirely, as we'll get going with the third race on the card here. Fillies and Mare 3-year-old and upward, claiming 5,000. Going to 2-turn mile and 16. And both of us landed on the number 1, R Star. Short, sort of couple of months break here. Back to the mile and 16 after staying that mile and 8 impeccably well over that west fast ground. Flexible running style she employs as well. So just a lot of things going for her.
Yeah, she's won over this racetrack with not the easiest of trips. Got JD originally. No rider was listed on the early PPs that I had, but they go get a really hot jockey in JD Acosta. I probably should have made her a slight favorite. This is going to be really close between favoritism, I think, between the 1, 3, and 5. But our star brings close to her best. I think she's the quickest here all the way through at a mile and a 16th. She does have positional speed. She's fresh for a barn. They can get horses to do this off of a break. So, yeah, I'll key her. Bring me answers, Miss Driven. Miss Driven, I'm not quite sure the company she's run against, but there's Ness and Russell and them teaming up at just a tremendous percentage. They had a win the other day with Don't Shoot Sonny, or They Shot Sonny. So maybe I'll key around
Sonny.
They shot Sonny. I guess that's from Bronx Tale, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'll key around our star.
Yeah, no, I did as well, and used the same horses as you underneath
All
there.
right.
Misdriven, as you mentioned, the connections are just absolutely red hot. So you don't, you want to make sure to be on board when Sheldon Russell and Jamie Ness partner up. I think I've got a bit of an old cut. It's 40% at present. It probably is around 35 or something somewhere there. So they've been doing very well. More a recent partnership, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just seems like within the last 6 months, a year, they've teamed up and have gone pretty good. And a good return on investment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know that that's what we all look for, and what you value quite a lot as well when you try to pick those long shot horses.
doubt.
And I definitely feel like as a bettor, if I'm looking at a field, if I like a horse, I want to get some value. I'm not going to go with a horse that's even money unless I think that they can't get beat whatsoever. It's very, very tricky. And I do think, even though we're obviously here trying to give winners, and sometimes that means you do have to pick the horse that is most likely going to take all the money. Personally, betting, I want to get a little bit of return on investment as well. So I'm very...
There's nothing worse than when you see a top, quote-unquote, top jock at your circuit cross the wire 6, 8, 10 to 1. And the late, great Clem Florio, I tell you, he would always say, they had to tell him a story. They told this guy to get a rider like that to ride this horse at a price. So always pay attention to that.
Yeah, absolutely. As we'll get going with race number 4, which is the start of the Rainbow Pick 6 and also the start of the Middle Pick 4. Now, Rainbow Pick 6 carryover of $3,785 to get you started here on this Thursday, April 29th at Pimlico Racecourse. But let's talk about that Middle Pick 4 that you constructed, Keith. Starts here in race 4 where you spread Icy.
And we're going to try to knock one of these down. They've been tough. I mean, cards have been good. They've been competitive. Racing office really doing their job. I'm against Armando R here, so if he beats me, knocks me right out of the box. I'm going to go 2, 5, 7, 8. My top pick will be the 8 Cosmicality, 3 deep in the 5th with the 3, 5, and 6 Gator 52 at a big price in there. Charlie Marquez again, so live rider at a big price. I'll toss in. Race 6, the 1 and the 8 in the loop, a 3's over deuces. That's really good race today. I call it our feature. Solid 5/8 of a mile, and then we're going to wrap it up, right? 2 and 5. So Russian Melody coming in, not beating a ton at Penn, but doing it quite easily. And the 5/8 might be the key for that one. She could be favored as well in there. And Promenade Princess, there you go for the old Haynes Brothers stable, $24 ticket.
Yeah, it's a fun ticket to get you going here in the middle sequence. Yeah, race number 6 I use in the loop as my single to kick off my late pick 4. So let's hope he duly delivers for Jerry Robb and the X-Man, I do believe, is once again on board. But let's talk about race number 4 because, wow, this is... I changed my picks here in the last minute, looking at the number 8, obviously being a half-brother to Nick's Go, and now stretching out for the first time. And man of the moment, Miguel Vera, trains. I threw it all out the window and went, I'm going with that horse, which you have on top as well. So got to give you credit for that.
Yeah, you're going down right with me, I guess, huh? So we've got a stat on Cosmicality. Let's take a look. There you go, Miguel Vera. Not that he's just winning it, big numbers recently, but over the last 5 years, not a huge sample, but he hasn't run a ton. 6 for 16, 38%, 10 for 16 the money, first route. ROI 580, as you talked about. A half to Nick's go, right? Your Pegasus World Cup winner, Breeders' Cup Mile winner. Didn't show a whole lot in debut. The blinkers are going to go on here today, but I went back and watched the race. Showed a glimmer of speed early, dropped back along the rail, but gave effort. Again, I know well beaten, but trying to the wire. There's not a lot of speed in here. We've got a good aggressive rider in J.D. Acosta. I don't think we're going to get 8-1 now, even though that buyer was low. It's light comparatively to some of these horses, just like Armando R. I'll take 9-2 or 5. You know, if they chop me almost in half, that's okay. I want to see this horse on the engine and to the front.
Yeah, definitely curious to see how he will fare stretching out to the mile 16 for the first time in his career. To give him some credit there, they went very, very slow in the middle sections of that race, and he tried to run into that when it was way too far behind to begin with, which really didn't help him out at all. So I agree with you there. I want JD to go and send him from the outside and put him in the race. And JD has shown to be very, very capable of doing so, as we've seen over the last couple of race days at Pimlico. The number 5, tip your hat to that. We do have a video of him as well as Shanghai Astoria, both coming out of the same race. Sloppy surface at Laurel Park that you can see. Tip your hat to that there in the center. And then Shanghai Astoria just towards the rail there, number 2.
Yeah, good highlight there, picking up along the inside. I think tip your hat to that, had the best trip, right? 3 wide, just kind of talking and chasing as they come for home, and very willing through the wire. But Shanghai Story had a little trouble. You saw the trouble there coming through the stretch, about mid-stretch, where the horse had to alter out, but also had trouble out of the gate. We probably should have showed that little bounce around, had to give up some ground there. I followed this horse twice now off of these 2 races. This horse is willing to the wire, just needs a cleaner trip. The distance, not an issue, certainly against this field. Tough little field. I mean, the 3 Armando R comes in, and you're looking at that last buyer, but that was back in March of 2020 against like some youngest of 5. It was a 2 other than allowance type of horse. So trainer low percentage, kind of in for the tag. I'm going to pass here. I'm going to go against this horse. That's why I was a little bit light on the line. If it was another higher percentage trainer, you know, Claudio, you make this horse like 8-5 against this group.
Yeah.
But here I've got to temper things a little bit. We'll go 8-7-5 to Mr. Mosley, stretching out as well here for Trombetta and getting a fast track.
Yeah, I like the horse you use underneath there. Very interesting there. 6-1 on the line. Yeah, Armando R, I used him underneath because that is a 71 buyer. That if you compare, for example, the horse that we're taking, that 30 buyer in debut, it's a very big difference in numbers. But as you highlighted, the number 3 Armando R comes off a very lengthy layoff. We haven't seen him since the summer of last year. That was at Gulfstream Park, making his local debut here for indeed a trainer that, you know, perhaps hasn't got the biggest of yards in comparison to if you were to go with Claudio Gonzalez or even Michael Trombetta. Just a lot more bigger turnout there. Just going to take a wait-and-see approach there.
All right.
Let's take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with the 5th race. And, of course, my late pick 4 coming up as well.
And they're off. Second in the 2-pap. Ground off her inside. Race. A quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 on top. Last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Hello, welcome back to Pimlico Racecourse. Naomi Drucker, Keith Fustel, talking you through the card of Thursday, April the 29th. Race 5 is what we're on. Start of the late pick 5 sequence, 12% industry low takeout. Fun couple of races coming up. Let's start with this beaten nickel claimant for 3-year-olds and upwards here. 6 furlongs the distance. Keith, you use the same top horse. You know, this is interesting actually. Normally we tend to vary quite a bit, but today we're in synchrony. I hope hope that means that both of us are going to have a splendid day full of winners here. The number 5 Company Clown, Claudio Gonzalez. We gave him some time in the other race, even though we weren't talking about any of his horses. Victor Carrasco gets on board, and this horse ran very, very big last time out. Prolonged duo up the front. Just started wavering in the final furlong.
Yeah, and they went awfully fast. You see it, long duel outside, a little fade late. Jungle War, Pascal Champ came back to win out of that race. Yeah, there's some other speeds, but he's the type here that's fresh at this level. The Claudio factor, I think he can he can maybe run you into the ground and have enough left to hold on. So he's a stayer against this group. Big Rennie, interesting move, shortening back up, but obviously a little fresh in sharp form right now. Ran good one, jumping a condition a couple races back. Yeah, going to be further back today, but there's some just chasers in here, some other horses that are going to force the pace of Company Clown. If things get really too contested, it would not surprise me to see if this one kind of gets over the top in the last couple jumps. Yeah, and Gator 52, you don't have this one in, but this horse wants to sprint. Caught my eye 3 races back with a pretty good run. It was inside, I had to shift out and closed up quite well. Went long, no, didn't like that effort. And last time out called off track, which the horse is 0 for 6, never hit the board on an off track. So couple dirtied up races, maybe Gator 52 at a price again with Charlie Marquez can slip in there and help your exactas and tries.
Yeah, Charlie Marquez has made quite the start to the Preakness meet as well, and just tipped over 100 winners as an apprentice as well in the last couple of days. So certainly a jockey that has really found his footing here at Pimlico Race. So I'd use the number 1, Justice of War, a bit more of a stalking sort of mid-pack type of horse, and he's been knocking around against this level for a bit now, and was able to come back into form last time, albeit did get DQ'd from second. Had a couple of tough races in between, but has been in decent enough form over sprinting distance in February, January this year to make him a contender.
Yeah, DQ concerns me a little bit, for an over stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, he ran right up pretty well behind Pascal Chant last time. And again, just looking right at it, yeah, maybe he's the logical horse maybe to kind of get past your favorite in Company Clown. But the DQ worries me there. So that's some other factors involved.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out as we'll move on to race number 6, 3-year-olds and upwards. Not won 3 races other than going the sprinting distance of 5 furlongs. Of course, race 6 kicks off the late pick 4 sequence. I created a cheap ticket here, $9 in total. And I'm going gutsy here. I'm singling in the first leg, and that's not something that I enjoy doing, but I absolutely love in the loop and have over his last four starts or something. He's been very, very good to me. Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez team up once again. He had a small break. I think he needed that. He was really running very, very high, and I think it suited him well to just get a bit of a break in between. And we do have a video of his as well, but we'll get to that in just a second. Race 7, I used the 1, 2, and the 5. Race 8, I used the 2, 3, and the 6. I like that race. I'm trying to beat Live and Let Live with Chargina coming in here fresh for Michael Trombetta, but she is stepping up against a lot tougher company there. And then race 9, I finish things off with the number 1, Mozone, who's most likely going to take a lot of money. Favoritism there, Michael Gorham, Alexander Crispin. But then the number 6, he's not curly, is the one I used on top for Jonathan Maldonado. Charlie Marquez aboard, gelding with just plenty of speed. $9 ticket that you probably could use to add a couple horses if you wish, or play outright here in the late pick 4 sequence that I hope gives you a little bit of return. But yes, it is all hinging on the number 1 there in the loop. But gosh, he's just been such a tough sprinter. I'm banking on him making a 4th win in the row? 4th win in a row here. So fingers crossed there as we'll get going with race number 6. Let's talk about In the Loop, and let's have a look at that video of 2 starts back where he was drawn towards the outside, and we can see that he was sharply asked to move forward there by the X-Man.
He was. X-Man. He's having a very, very nice year. As is Jerry Robb and company. No Guts, No Glory Farm, Gene Gould. The whole team is doing well in 2021. And, man, there was some other speed in this race. X-Man aggressively handled this horse out of the gate, got the position. Got the shortest way around the racetrack, right? And he's going to try to do it again this afternoon by using that rail position to his advantage. A sharp break and an aggressive ride. He escapes trouble that first maybe 6 or 7 strides out of the gate. Man, he's just going to carry that speed a long way. He can be pressed, too. He can take pressure and keep going. That's the key with this horse. They've just done a phenomenal job off the claim within the loop, and right back at you against some quality sprinters. Now the key, 5/8 of a mile, probably definitely playing to his advantage today. He can win at 6, but against some of these horses that are back class horses that are coming off time, can they get up in time at 5/8? I'm taking a little shot with 3s over deuces. True speed, lots of true speed to the inside of him. I think he can draft over and bring a finish. He brought like a 94 buyer off a long layoff before. Now, granted, that was at 6 furlongs. Can he do it at 5? I don't know. In the loop, though, the horse to beat here in race 6.
Yeah, threes over deuces, second in the grade 3 General George going 7 is also, to me, the horse in here that absolutely is going to relish the 5 furlong is In the Loop. But I do like threes over deuces. Definitely give him some respect here. But as you mentioned, just wonder if he's going to run out of track and the wire is just going to come up perhaps half a furlong or a furlong too short for him. The number 4 you use underneath, Golden Candy, I use in second here. Carol Cedinho rides. This is a colt that comes out of the Concern Stakes, has been freshened up by Anthony Pecoraro, seems to just be working quite decently, and has the right running style to me to also come with that late close.
Oh, yeah, 5.5. Look at his record. 5 starts, 3 wins, and 2/3. He loves it. But off of time with some quality speed and stamina type of horses. You've got in the Jerry Robb would not surprise me 1-2 around the racetrack with Stroll Smoking. Same kind of MO.
Yep.
These horses want to be up close. Fiergo Lynch, don't think that Stroll Smoking can't just take back a little bit and close some ground either. He's got some versatility to him. So Jerry Robb brings a strong hand to race 6.
God, he absolutely does. As we'll move on to race number 7 here. Fillies and Mess 3-year-old and upward, claiming 16,000. Another 5 furlong sprinting contest. And you landed on the number 2 Russian Melody coming in here. Sheldon Russell aboard. Mark Salvaggio trains. Took him gate to wire twice at Penn National. She broke her maiden, then she went straight through her condition. Now stepping up against Deed. She's the in-form horse coming in here.
Yeah, and like I say, won't surprise me if she's favored. Obviously going to be lower than that with Awfully Foxy. All these horses are down. Awfully Foxy, the 7-horse scratched out of race 7. Yeah, and the key with her, once again, you've got Sheldon on for Salvaggio. I think Mark Salvaggio is still looking for his first win at Pimlico. I know he won some races down to Laurel, but going on the go back, I'll have to double check on that. But he doesn't come down here too often. So once again, there's the old adage. You had to give your top rider a little bit of a tell, a little bit of a story. She's doing fine. She's got speed, and she outran some horses last time out. It wasn't much of a field, but there was a key horse. There was a Kevin Patterson horse, a speed horse, that was first off the claim for Patterson. And you know how he does at Charlestown and Penn with those speed horses. She outran that one easily, well in hand, rode the way to the racetrack, and had plenty left. So she's just going to use that shorter run of the turn, use her speed to her advantage in here, and I think take them coast to coast. Main closers to be concerned about are the 1 Millie Child and the 5 Promenade Princess.
How about Eloquent Lady, though? Will she possibly try and pressure Russian Melody a little bit early? She's shown a bit of speed.
She could, and I mean that's the whole guess. We know the company lines up at Penn weren't super strong, but she did it so easily. I'll give her a little bit of a benefit of the doubt because don't baggage check again. I think she's even faster than an Eloquent Lady if she gets out clear. So yeah, and if that duel develops and past the 5/16, there's three leaders right there with a length of each other. Well, here comes over the top Promenade Princess or Millie Child. Millie Child for Mill Hill Stable. Anthony Aguirre showed a little bit improved speed. Second off the break, she's raced herself back into shape. Promenade Princess as well, similar running styles. They both come out of that Had the Notion race, and Had the Notion came back to run pretty well.
Yeah, Prominent Princess, to me, being able to rally that strongly on a muddy track. If they go fast up front, she's going to be lurking in the sidelines and having a good old trip and then getting produced and hopefully getting the win here. So I use her on top as we'll go on to race number 8. 3-year-old fillies, one other than Optional Kleber. 5.5 furlongs distance. Now this is a race that I'm looking forward to. Just a couple of fillies coming in here with solid form. The number 1 Cupido always placing. But let's talk about the number 2 Live and Let Live as we take a look at her last race at this level at Laurel Park on muddy surface where she really, really didn't have a great race at all. She was fighting heavy in Toledo constantly when having to get taken back, sitting on the pocket in the rail there, as we'll see starting here, but it continues.
Yeah, it starts there, about an eighth of a mile maybe into the race, and it just continues. Connections might want to close their eyes, look away from the screen right now with all of this trouble that this 3-year-old filly had. So, yeah, and she's just trying to run right over the top of Pretty Laurie. I tell you what, drops back a few lengths, and watch this effort. Coming back through the final eighth of a mile from Live and Let Live. Only gets speed a length and a half when it's all said and done on that muddy sealed surface. Just a lot of heart there. So third time off the claim for Ricky Silliman. I think Pretty Laurie is still a little bit quicker early. Live and Let Live can avoid that trouble. Opening quarter, maybe she stalks and goes past there. 2-3, I think, kind of around the racetrack is what I'm looking at here in the 8th.
Yeah, I feel Live and Let Live is certainly the filly to beat in here. So I'm trying to do that with the price play. Chargina stepping up to this level for the first time, relatively unexposed in that manner for one of our top circuit trainers in Michael Trombetta. She comes in here after 2 months freshening. Very favorable running style, I believe. She's very comfortable rating. Pretty well-timed ride last time out. Now, she didn't beat much there, granted, so she will have to take that next step, but she looked visually impressive, cutting that corner, accelerating around the bend. I think Pimlico is going to suit her well. She looks very nimble, very capable of accelerating on a tight bend like we have here at Pimlico.
Yeah.
So she's my price play here. Like I said, step up, but my price play. The number 3... Pretty Lori used underneath here. I was slightly bit disappointed with her effort last time out.
Yeah, I mean, but the try off the return, I mean, she was eligible to kind of maybe bounce just a little bit. She's quick. She's the speed of the speed here to me. And Chargina, yeah, price shot. I think you should get 5 or 6. You should demand that for her because she hasn't shown that ability on a fast track yet. We'll see, but we've got some rain possibly in the area. Maybe you'll get what you want if the surface changes here later in the card. But yeah, you've got to demand a price on her.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, finishing us off with the night race, nickel beaten conditions here. A mile and 16 is the distance. You go with the number 1, Mozo, 9 to 5 morning line. Michael Gorham, Alexander Crispin, looking to get back to form after his debut at Laurel Park, so the circuit debut here when he was claimed from Eddie Keneally by Michael Gorham. Crispin taking the weight off today, going to get back to that form because last time out just could not get into this.
No, out wide the whole way and just never showed really any interest. Was kind of protected late to the last 1/8 of a mile, hence the beaten 20 3/4 lengths on the page. Wonder why Sheldon, Sheldon rides a lot for Gorham. He goes with Monkey's Medal, doesn't go on the horse that I think clearly looks like a little bit better. But interesting. I think he's got a lot more tactical speed than Monkey's Medal. He's not curly in the shorter field, is going to set sail, I think, try to take him coast to coast. But that 2-back try was good. I'll give him one more shot here, Mozo.
Yeah, He's Not Curly. That was a very strong run after a year and 4 months layoff to run third there. Showed early tenacity, nearly took them all the way and just tired. So I'm hoping that with that run under his belt, he can find himself either in front or stalking handily from that outside draw. Charlie Marquez remains on board. Jonathan Maldonado. He's Not Curly is definitely my pick in here. He's going to take some money as well, though. So, yeah, 6-1 for me, 1-6 for you using the 5 and the 2 for Keith, 5-3 for me. Let's get going with the final segment, the segment that we're always looking forward to here. Let's check in with the jockey standings as we finish up the first week of the Preakness meet. JD Acosta leading here with Carol Cedinho in second.
Yeah, he bounced right out of the gate, right? Didn't he win the first 2?
I do believe he did.
Yeah, got the double and has been rolling ever since. Yeah, this is going to be a fun little jockey race for the meet, no doubt about it. JD Acosta with 6, Cedeno 5, Sheldon 4. There you go. Marquez and Cruz rounded out. Anybody's game right now.
Yeah, and then with the trainers standing, I love the fact that we have Claudio Gonzalez and Miguel Vera tied. Now, if you look at Miguel Vera's stats, he ran 6 horses and won 4 times at 67%, comparing to Claudio Gonzalez with a lot more numbers. So clearly the man of the moment at present.
Yeah, that's the key right now. Vera, his horses look great on the racetrack. On his home track, as is Kieran McGee. So does that give them a little bit of an edge? The numbers factor might catch up to Miguel Vera. That's the key. So I'm kind of leaning Kieran or Claudio right now.
Yeah,
slight edge to Kieran. I'll put him a slight edge.
Slight edge to Kieran.
Yep.
All right. Well, Claudio's got his work cut out for him. I'm sure he'll have plenty of horses with chances today, tomorrow, and any of our race days coming up. But let's talk about the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks tomorrow and on Saturday. You can check out the simulcast on Friday and Saturday, as I just mentioned, at Laurel and at Pimlico. So you're most welcome to come and join us. We got live action at Pimlico and Laurel Park has opened their facilities to allow wagering and enjoyment throughout the day for those 2 big days that everyone always looks forward to. Now, some other local news here. We are going to receive some vaccinations here. MedStar is set to administer the COVID-19 vaccines at Laurel and Pimlico, scheduled for Monday, May the 10th for the first round. 9 to 1 p.m., 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the time slot. I do know that at Laurel Park, the truck will be placed across from the canteen. And then at Pimlico, it will be in a box inside the horseman's entrance in the physician's office in the grandstand. So wonderful news there. I'm very glad to hear that our backstretch community will be able to get the vaccine. So I highly encourage everyone to attend and make full use of this opportunity. As we'll finish things off here by congratulating Forrest Boyce on her win on her second mount after being away from the track for 6 weeks with an injury.
Yeah, here it is on the outside. This is
Boyakasha
Boyakasha
at Pimlico here on Friday.
Yes, that was Mike Durales, correct?
Yeah, I do believe it was.
Claim. So yeah, good to see Forrest back, and I tell you, she's a very good rider, one of the best judges of pace. She loves to save ground and times her rallies very, very well. Deadly on the grass course as well. I'd say maybe move her up even a little bit on the turf course. Take notice. She can definitely help you out, and depend on her when you're putting your money down.
Yeah, wonderful to have her back. So congratulations once again. And that will do it for us. But before you go, Keith, for anyone tuning in late, who were your Kentucky Derby horses again?
My keys are going to be Rock Your World and Dynamic One. I will key around those 2 horses, taking nothing away from Essential Quality or Highly Motivated. You know, I was talking to my buddy Joe Gass coming down, and I said, Joe, you're hemming and hawing. You're giving me 5, 6 different horses. Give me 1 or 2 I can key off of. So he said he was going to watch and abuse me because he says I always like to give out 3, 4, 5 horses a race. And that's not true, Joe. I key 1 or 2, and then we work around that. So there are my keys for your Kentucky Derby. We'll see. We'll see what it's worth.
Well, we have a 20-horse field. You can't just pick 1 horse. You want to have a bit of a play using a couple of horses and then, get even more value than you're already going to get.
That's the beauty of the Derby, a field that big. I mean, you box 5 or 6 horses in the exacta, and it could come out and just pay absolutely huge. The value is there. It's already there built in with that big field. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And, of course, download the First Bet app or Press Bet to place your wagers, because you do get a money-back special there up to $10 if your horse runs 2nd or 3rd for a win bet. So win-win situation there as we'll wrap it up for this morning show. Keith, thank you so much. Good luck with your selections today. I'm tied to your luck as well.
And I'll bring Joe's picks on Saturday as well. He's a very good handicapper. So that's the good thing. I'm surrounded by some guys that know what they're doing. And really kind of, help me out sometimes. It's good to lean on some friends and get a fresh perspective, because sometimes we do this, day in and day out. We get a little bit of stubbornness, and we don't want to kind of get away from our ways. So it's good to have a fresh opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. You want to keep your eyes and ears open to anyone's opinion, and then see if they tie in with whatever you were thinking. So thank you so much, Keith, and good luck. I'm not here on Saturday, but I'll definitely go and watch to check out your selections, as Dave Rotman will be coming up with scratches and changes.
All right, everybody. Good luck.